Back in October, I said I was going to work on events. Well, I'm finally back to tell you what I figured out, and it's nowhere near what it should be. Instead of creating one that's interesting, I'll be showing you a bare minimum event. All events come from the abstract event, but most derive more directly from the child class abstract image event. We'll be looking at image events first. Basically, if it uses the image interface, it's an image event. Otherwise, it's a normal abstract event. Out of the 53 events in the game, only 5 are not image events. This includes an event for the heart encounter after the Act 3 boss, and the Niao event at the start of each run. With all this in mind, what can we actually do in events? These don't have the clean management system that combat has, so we need to manipulate things more directly. I went through and looked at what events do at a high level, though I didn't look at Niao's event. As we can see from this table, the bulk of actions involve some combination of gaining or losing gold, HP, max HP, cards, potions, and relics. I've separated out curses from normal cards in the table because it is psychologically different to the player, even if it is added using the same methods as cards. We've also got several card transformations, 4 card transforms, and 1 card duplication. We've got the 2 goblin minigames, both of which are image events that use the update function heavily, and several that involve fights. I'll put a link to the spreadsheet I used to create this table in the description. So what do we need to do to build our own event? The top of the class will have a lot of familiar pieces. There's the event ID, event strings, from which we pull the name, descriptions, and options, and an image path built from a new main class function, makeEventPath. We also have a custom enum called CurScreen. This enum lists all of the different screens in the event. For a typical 2-part event, one screen will show the options and another will describe the result of the action. Not every option needs a new screen, and the second screen can be reused. The event strings are also familiar. We'll need to load the strings when the mod starts. The strings are constructed from a name, a collection of descriptions for the body of the event, and the options that are for the buttons. It is important to note that the name, descriptions, and options labels need to be capitalized. I spent half a month trying to debug why my event wouldn't load, only to realize this fact. From there, we can move on to the constructor, which doesn't need a lot of setup. The superconstructor takes the name, the initial body text, and the image path. We need to set up the dialog for the different options using imageEventText.setDialogOption. This just takes the string to display, the bulk of which should be in our options event strings, though we can add in card and relic names or variable amounts. The button effect function is the backbone of event logic. It passes in the ID of the button that was pressed. The first entry submitted using setDialogOption, which appears at the top of the list in the game, is 0. However, the first option for the start of the event and the end will likely need different logic. This is where the CurScreen enum comes into play. We can use a switch statement to change the logic for the button depending on the current screen of the event. Inside each case, we can use another switch statement for the button logic. What does each button need to do? Aside from whatever that option needs to do, we need to update the body text using image-event-text.updateBodyText. Then we need to change to the button text. For the buttons we want to keep, we use image-event-text.updateDialog option, passing in the index of the button and the string for the new text. Once we've done that for all the buttons we want, we tell the event to clear out any remaining buttons using image-event-text.clear-remaining-options. Finally, we should update the curScreen variable so the next button press executes properly. If we want to end the event, we just need to open map. Many events rely pretty heavily on the update function, which is strange for a game that utilizes interfaces so well. This is typically used for menu choices like picking a card or potion. We won't worry about it for now, but we need to use this for our events later, so I thought I'd bring it up. Again, I want to apologize for taking so long with this update. I took some time to participate in the Metroidvania Month 10 Game Jam back in November, but then Christmas happened, and my father ended up in the hospital, and there was an attempted coup at the Capitol, and COVID's still a thing. All this during a depressive episode, too. I'd make getting back into a monthly schedule my New Year's resolution, but that killed my 2 Let's Play channels, one in 2012 and the other one just last year. My goals for next month are as follows. First, make 2 events that showcase the features I listed before, as well as integrate requirements for events and options. 2, make some art for the events, or the defect cards. I'm going to try making 3D renders, but I'll resort to hand-drawn if I need to. There's some buttons below this video. I think you all know the drill with those. I'll see you again on March 1st.